Let's talk about a community. You're really good at creating a community. So you have a Facebook group called Trends. It sounds like some sort of promotion, but it really is, I'd say, one of the best Facebook groups on the web. And that's just not me. There's a lot of people that say that.
Yeah, it's sick.
Um,
Trends.co. Go
but
there.
so I'm part of a lot of Facebook groups. I barely check anymore. I don't like Facebook groups. It's just, I think Facebook kind of messed up the desktop interface for it and stuff like that. What makes Trends good? Why is the community good compared to others?
Well, you got to treat it a little bit like a party and a little bit like a cult. So
Mm.
let me explain what that means. So for a cult, you definitely want an us versus the world mentality. So what is there this thing that binds us together that is different than what the rest of the world thinks is normal? In Trends, it's like we can make anything we want, we can achieve, we can build stuff. You also need a clear leader. We have a
Mhm.
clear leader. I'm the leader. You need like a clear leader who's firm but also like inclusive and things like that.
Strict but fair.
Strict but fair, stern but fair. And then like a concert, you want FOMO. So if you ever notice, I purposely call out people who are incredibly fascinating. So we had the founder
Mhm.
of HubSpot, of Hootsuite, like billionaire type folks, unicorn founder types. I always call them out, and
Mhm.
that creates FOMO. What else do we do? What are you laughing at?
I was just thinking about all that kind of stuff that you do in there. Okay, here's what I'm laughing at. I don't understand how you are on this group so much. Like you post it like 5,000 times a day or something. Not 5,000,
It's
but
not
like a
hard
lot.
for me. It's not. I
Are
don't
you doing it from your phone?
from my phone or my computer. It's my job. It's not like. Do you view your job as a job or like a vocation? I just
It's
feel like
like
it's my
I was doing it
life.
for free for 10 years and then it became a job
Right.
somehow.
It's
Yeah.
just my life. This is my life. I like hearing. Okay, so Brian, what's his name? Halligan, the HubSpot guy.
Mhm.
He joined, and I go, wait. I just hovered my mouse and it just said CEO of HubSpot. I'm like, oh well, I know HubSpot. It's like a big company. I'm just gonna call this guy out and say like he does this, 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 and this. Brian, and I put him on the spot. Everyone asked Brian questions. I didn't really ask him for if it's okay if I do it. I just do it, and I'm gonna learn all about him. I think it's just cool. It's cool. It's easy for me.
Do you kick people out?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, constantly. So if you break the rules, one little warning. And if I just think you're just posting scammy stuff, done. And if they ask for a refund, I go, here's your money. So yeah, kick people out all the time. The next thing that we're doing. So how many we at Trends we have well over 10,000 paying subscribers, but maybe only 8,000 of them have joined the group. I think at about 10,000, I'm gonna right now I'm hiring for this a community role.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have a community manager, and they're gonna deputize volunteers to moderate it.
Mhm.
And we have these rules that says like you can't self promote. You can't overly self promote.
Mhm.
You can say anything, like you can have any opinion, but you have to be respectful about it.
Mhm.
So when people were talking about politics, and it says, okay, fine, you can be a Trumper, you can be a Biden guy, but you got to be respectful about it.
Mm.
So no worries, you could say whatever you want so long as you're respectful. What else do we do that people have to do?
I feel like you bring on special guests. I remember you had like Tim Ferriss come on and do like only members
Yeah,
like
we do
answer
that. I do that
Q&As.
all the time, and so we're starting to do that now. So with Trends is like, let's say mid to high, uh, six figures a month in subscription revenue,
Mhm.
and those little podcasts that we've started to do for Trends members only, right now are like the biggest driver.
Damn.
It's pretty crazy. So if you're in the content business, create a subscription product. It's awesome. It's harder. It's harder work because people are paying you money and you got to deliver.
I actually think with subscriptions, it's better incentives for both people.
It's
Because
better.
like online courses, I remember whenever I would just accept one payment for an online course, theoretically, my incentive is to get your money and run, right? That's where it is. And I don't
Yes.
have to. Whereas if you say like, okay, I won't come back next month unless you deliver, it actually puts me on my toes also.
And you
Puts
also
everyone on
and
their
you make way
toes.
more money. Our annual churn, like 85% of people opt in for year 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so the money's way better.
What does it cost? 300?
Right now, $300.
Mm-hmm.
We're raising it. We have noticed that the conversion rate from $299 to $499 is the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think also it now has a certain amount of clout, so you should definitely raise the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep the good people in there and stuff.
And it's a sick business. I love Trends. I don't ever want to sell it. I
Yeah.
love it.
One interesting thing. Okay, so I want to talk about validation, but I want to talk about an interesting thing about Trends. So people were like, Trends was an interesting idea. Do you remember there was a couple iterations of Trends before Trends though?
You worked on it. So we paid Neville $10,000 to be a consultant, and he created this thing. I think it might have been my idea, your idea. I don't remember. It It was called Jobs. We didn't have a good name for it. And the idea was users will pay $100 a year, and we will editorialize job postings. Which, by the way, this can still be a great company, I think.
I think it could.
And the concept is that with there's a lot of third party data like Glassdoor. There's like statistics like SimilarWeb, Ahrefs, whatever, that you can formulate a story of a company, and you could be like, wow, I think this company Levels that does glucose monitoring, the way they're climbing up the app store, I think this is going to crush it. And
Mhm.
all and so the idea with Jobs was we're going to give you behind the scenes stories of a company and where they're and if they're hiring, so you can find out where the interesting companies are, and we're going to charge you money for that.
Yeah, I remember the issue in Silicon Valley with like really good people, with like engineers and stuff that were top notch, was not finding a job. Those people will get hired anywhere, any day, 24 hours a day. It's not a problem. It's just like, what is the best opportunity? They have so many opportunities. Where's the best place to
And
go?
which opportunity is best for me? Because sometimes a good opportunity is a 40-hour work week.
Very true.
Other times people are like, no, I want an alpha and I want to grind. I'm here to grind and I'm going to go big or go home. Other times people are like, I want work-life balance. I want I want to work at ConvertKit, which is like a feel-good place where they value work-life balance, but I feel like I'm part of a team. And then you have like the Ubers of the world where it's like, I'm just here to kick ass and take names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the idea with Jobs was we're going to editorialize that and tell you exactly what it's like. And we're going to make you pay for it, the customer, because we're going to tell you the truth about the company. We're like, who cares? We don't care if they bitch at us. We're saying what we want to say. And I thought that was a great idea. But people were like, well, I don't want to work here, but can I invest in this company, or can you tell me how this company works? Like,
And that's where like trends start. We're just like, wait a second, the research is what's valuable, not just talking about getting jobs.
exactly.
Because actually, most of the people that were subscribing to it, like the beta, they already had jobs. They're kind of like, I don't want to just see a bunch of job listings. Like that's not useful.
Yeah, and so I created a Gumroad page called Trends,
Hmm.
and I sold $50,000 worth of it from pre-sale. I didn't write one report.
But I like telling the story because people are like, where did that idea come from? And it was actually, and even before Jobs, it was kind of this idea of like doing research and selling it that was existed, and it just morphed over time and finally.
Well,
found its-
I read the biography of Gideon Gartner, the guy who started. So what I do is I read biographies
Uh-huh.
and I figure out like their paths,
Uh-huh.
and I do that constantly. And I go, okay, I'm just gonna steal that. He did it in the 1970s. That shit will still work today.
Mhm.
I'm stealing that, and that's what I did with Gideon Gartner. And Gartner is a $13 billion business or something like that. I was like, let's just
And they just do reviews of stuff.
reviews of yeah, and I
They've
was like,
actually consulted with us, and it was pretty neat. I can't believe they do so much just on referrals and stuff like that.
yeah, they kill it. It's a very profitable, huge company, and they did because I was thinking, I'm like, look, we're right here. We can go this way, where we're gonna become like a BuzzFeed, where we have 150 or 1,000 people who work for us, and they're like these like New Yorker elitists. I'm like, oh, sounds exhausting. Or we can like service businesses and make way more money and have like I think a cooler culture. Like there's these things called Gartner and Forrester. That sounds kind of cool. Let's just do that.